Welcome to ACA's Business Executive Summit, another segment where we feature some of Kansas City's premier executives and entrepreneurs. Hi, I'm your host, Randy Shepard, and we're delighted that you've joined with us. And we have a special guest that hails all the way from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, but has his roots also here in the Kansas City area. In fact, he started his business when he was 18 years of age, if you can imagine that, and today has grown into an international business, which we'll learn more about in just a moment. My guest today on Executive Summit is Rayan Azab. Rayan, thanks for joining with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and you hailed from the city of, am I saying that correct, Jeddah?
Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Yes.
And Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, you came to the United States at what age?
I was about 15 years old.
About 15?
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about Jeddah, because I'm kind of curious. It's right there on the coast?
It's on the coast, very sunny, very beachy. It's one of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, and it's growing. It's growing quickly, yeah.
Sounds like a nice place to visit, you know, the beach and everything.
Yes,
so.
yes.
And I hear it's the largest port along the Red Sea.
Yes, one of the biggest.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And what was it that made your family want to leave, and I don't know if your entire family left, but you came to the United States when you were 15?
Yes.
And where did that land you?
My father came here in the early 70s. He went to Park University. It used to be called Park College at that time.
Right.
And then he went on and graduated from KU Med for medical. He has a doctorate in hospital management.
Okay.
And then my brother followed, and I followed.
Okay.
Yes.
So you come at the age of 14, and he's become a renowned doctor. Is that correct?
Yes, he has a doctorate in hospital management.
In hospital management.
Yes.
And he's very well known through his articles and different.
Yes. All over the region and around the world.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And then by the time you're 18 years of age, you decide to become an entrepreneur. What sparked that interest?
Well, you wanted to do something different at that time.
Well, okay.
Everybody else was doing, you know, the parties and so on. So I was like, how can I make money and do the same thing? So I started doing small little gatherings, if you want to call it that.
Small little gatherings.
Yes, and then slowly I started working with the inner city kids, and we would do events in inner cities for the different people to get them around, away from the problems they had, and kind of focus of getting together and learning from each other, and that's how we started.
Okay, and then I understand, it's my understanding from your bio that it also grew into an international style of business, is that correct?
Yes, we grew into concerts, and then slowly we grew into a mall-based entertainment company. We work with malls all around the world, providing them entertainment for family and kids now. And we are about 5 different branches around the world.
Okay, 5 different branches around the world. Wow, all from that time when you started the business at age 18.
Yes.
And you were here in Kansas City for how long?
About 20 years.
20 years.
Yes, most of my life.
So most of your life.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful wife, and her name is?
Lisette.
Lisette.
Yes.
And it's interesting how you guys met.
Yes, it is.
She's from where?
She's, her family's from El Salvador, and she's from the West Coast, from Los Angeles.
Okay.
We met in KU, actually.
KU.
Yes.
And I understand it's not because she lived there.
No, she was here for the summer visiting her sister.
Okay.
So we met in a Brazilian carnival that they had in KU.
Okay, so here you have a guy from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and who would have thought you would marry somebody from El Salvador,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
At a Brazilian carnival
Yes.
in Lawrence, Kansas while she's on vacation. You couldn't write this thing up, could
No,
you?
you
You couldn't
couldn't.
figure this thing out.
Yeah.
But she's a beautiful young lady, and I know you're a happy man, and you're a busy man.
Yes.
And we're going to get into some of that in just a moment. But I want to ask you some questions that maybe some people have here in America.
Okay.
I know I have one. When you came to America, obviously Jeddah, Saudi Arabia is going to be different. The culture is going to be different than here in America. What do you see as being positive in America, and what do you think maybe America could be better at?
I think what could be positive at that time that I came, there was not a lot of different cultures in where I lived at in North Kansas City. So I kind of struggled with that just because Jeddah, even though it's in Saudi Arabia, there's people from all over the world there all the time. So I struggled a lot with that, but seeing it now, it's a whole different world. I mean,
Okay.
Kansas City now, Kansas City, Kansas, both of them are just filled with culture.
Right,
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
What I could see be changing more in America, and specifically Midwest, is people trying to learn about other cultures and trying to do more about the business internationally, because I feel like people are losing so much from not trying to open their doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get into a little bit more, how Rayan started a small business that went international and what he does today with international businesses. So let me ask you, in your businesses today that you have, you're in several different countries.
Yes, most of the time. I'm between here, the Middle East, and South Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of companies that you're working with? You're trying to probably inform people here in the States
Yes.
about going international with their business.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. We do a lot, me and my partner, Dwayne, that actually brought me to this and introduced us to ACA. We're trying to help companies from specifically the Midwest is to get out there and locate clients and get them funds, things that people I think are not reaching for yet. So one of the people actually we're working with is RAD Planning. It's based out of here, and we start working with them now in an international base in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Yes.
And because you're so busy, hopscotching, skipping all over the country and around the world.
Yeah.
The best guy to meet in Kansas City is Dwayne Jordan, probably.
Yes,
right?
Dwayne Jordan has been an amazing added value to my team and to myself.
Okay.
He brings opportunities that I didn't see and I couldn't find by myself. Joining ACA again was an amazing thing because we get all these different people trying to reach out and they have the idea, just don't know where to go with it. So we're trying to help them say, yes, there is a market. There's a market in the Middle East. It's a huge market, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
What part did your father, being this famous guy
Yeah.
and being internationally known in hospital management, what part did he play in you becoming this entrepreneur that you are?
Well, in many different ways, he actually helped me kind of just like widen your vision more than just stay focused, even though he always tells me stay focused. He also helped me with the medical field. His whole growth was finding struggling hospitals and growing them. Well, my focus is finding people who are trying to get into new hospitals and medical field and help them how to get the investments and the logistics and the expertise, and a lot from the United States because, there's major expertise from the United States. So we've signed with a couple of groups to help add that value in the region.
Okay. And so, that's good advice for all of us, really, that, we as Americans need to expand and broaden our view
Yes.
of the world
Yes.
and the possibilities of what we can do internationally, especially with the advent of the internet and the globalization that we see.
And you see
through
a lot
technology.
of the brands, a lot of the big brands around the world are from the United States, but there's the one that took the risk and took that step forward. From the food business, I'm really heavy into the F&B business, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Sure.
Into just online businesses also, and a lot of the platforms has been set for the Middle East are from American companies, but again are the ones that wanted to explore that.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we have anybody watching the Executive Summit now,
Yes.
whether they're streaming online or what have you, if they want to look at ways of expanding their business internationally, they can get a hold of you.
Yes.
Or they can get a hold of our Kansas City representative, who's Dwayne Jordan.
Yes.
I call him Dwayne the Rock Jordan, and that's kind of a little fun thing that we have with Dwayne. If you see Dwayne, big, strong guy, looks like the linebacker for the Chiefs, but he's a gentle giant, and he would be your guy in Kansas City if you're looking to consider, and what goes into considering the possibilities of moving your business international and vice versa. You're also looking to talk to businesses here in Kansas City, maybe bringing some from there here. Is that true?
We're more into bringing investments from the Middle East to Kansas City because you always hear about X amount of companies that bought into New York or bought into Boston, but they never really come to the Midwest and specifically Kansas City. So I'm working really hard to do that because there is huge opportunity here, and there's a lot that we could offer that people don't know about. So it's kind of the other way around.
Yeah.
People know about America, but they know Los Angeles, they know Miami, they know New York, but they never think, well, the Midwest, Kansas City, what would I do there? Until they actually come and see, wow, this is a pool of opportunity that I could invest in and grow into and help the market grow here, because then I could bring it over to the Middle East.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you're into all different kinds of industries. I mean, I was looking here and I was looking at some of the partnerships and companies that you're working with. include health organizations,
Yes.
a production company, film,
Yes.
architectural. I mean, what are the companies that that you're looking for specifically that you think have the most ripe opportunity?
I think franchises as a whole
Okay.
is a big thing, especially in the Middle East region. Food business is definitely the #1 growing business now. Brands from the United States come there, and some of them are smaller brands like Shake Shack that was 3 or 4 stores, and now it's a massive brand. But it got bigger in the Middle East before it got big here. But
Is that right?
That is true, yes.
So you have this small little franchise, 3 or 4 stores,
Yeah.
and they decided to go international.
To go to international, they
And-
worked with a franchising company, and they helped them take them there and got investment and grew themselves, and now they're real big here in the United States.
Wow, boy, that really makes you think. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, because I don't think us as Americans, as entrepreneurs starting our businesses, ever think we could take our business or see the value
Yeah.
or even know how to take it international. What are your plans? How are you bringing the two together? How are you doing that?
I'm actually just setting up platforms, and I'm investing in people, be my wife, or it could be like Dwayne, people that have ideas and have things that the region there really needs. So I'm investing in that and growing with these people to make sure the added the value, and then taking the platform in international form.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any companies that, you mentioned franchises, what kind of franchise? You gave us a good example.
I work with 2 groups. One is called FriendSmart. It's one of the biggest franchising company in the United States.
Okay.
5 Guys, Elevation Burger. So what I do is I work with them and I locate franchisees in the Middle East for them, and I also help raise investment alongside Dwayne. The other part, I work with a group called Brands and Trade. It's based out of Germany, and they're a retail-based group. So what they do, they take European brands, and now I'm bringing the American brands, to bring them into the region, but to be the management of it. Because you lack of management in the Middle East of experience, not in all fields, but specifically in the franchise, retail, and food. So what they do is I set the platform that you could come in, I'll bring in the investment, you could run the show, we'll bring in the experience locally, but you'll be in the driver's seat instead of handing it to somebody and being worried. And that's what a lot of franchises group are always worried about, that what will happen to my brand when they move over there.
Okay.
So now we're setting up in a way that everybody's happy, and the smaller brands of 15 or 16 stores are open to come into a different region comfortably.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I understand you have a master's in business from Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool, England.
You're all over the world.
Yeah.
How did
that's
that
a
happen?
funny story. Well, as soon as I graduated college, I had no choice. My dad told me, you either go to work or you go to work. So I went to the bank. I was working in a teller in the bank, and I was doing my master's, and at the same time I started as the production group and doing my mini events here and there.
I see.
So it was the only university at that time, the big name university, was offering online degrees. So I did my thesis, and I went and walked and with my daughter and my wife. That was a good experience for me.
Well, it sounds like with all your success, you've gone from a master's to probably an earned PhD in just practice. What do you see? What do you see the plans for your future being, and the opportunity for expansion for companies going to the Middle East?
I'm really focused on the franchising thing and the investment part of things. I feel that there's a lot of money in the Middle East that could be invested in the United States and vice versa. I do believe I want to support local companies to grow, and that's like one of my going to back investing in people more than just the businesses, because as they grow, you grow. So this is the #1 thing. And my second thing is to make sure Kansas City gets on the map worldwide.
Okay, I think we as Kansas Cityans would like that to happen.
Yes.
You know, and so in the process of all of that, if somebody is considering the possibility, I mean, obviously you're sitting here and you make it sound so easy. You gave us a great example of a small franchise becoming a mega franchise in the Middle East.
Yes.
And you probably have some Kansas Cityans salivating by now
Yes.
about the idea. So what's their first step?
besides talking to me.
Well, that's their first step, right?
First step is to find somebody like myself that are in the region, that's in both cultures, to kind of understand your culture too, because
Okay.
a lot of people want to go there and they want to invest in opening an office and spending unnecessary money. I believe it backwards. I think find somebody as myself that's dual citizen or the culture is closer to yours and that had experience to walk you into the step. Don't
Okay.
go blindfolded, because it's a different beast there. It's a different monster really, because it's a different culture, it's a different process. So make sure that you have the right partner or advisor as you go along before you jump ship and before you open an office and invest all this money, and sometimes it will hurt you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good advice. You know, and for those of you that are looking to, as Kansas City, as whoever's ever watching this segment of Executive Summit, if you're looking to broaden your horizons for your business and to go international, or and you have some basic questions. In fact, in just a moment, we're going to ask our audience, who is in here today in the studio. We're going to be asking them some, actually letting them ask some specific questions to Rayan about these types of things. And so we want you to stay tuned for that. But Rayan, we really appreciate you joining with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Get a hold of my friend Dwayne.
Dwayne. So the first step is Dwayne Jordan, and you can contact us here at ACA,
Yes.
American Club Association here, and you can go to acanetwork.org if you're watching this and you don't know how to contact us, and you can get the information that you need to get a hold of Dwayne Jordan as the first step.
Yes,
And then you guys can literally handhold, it sounds like,
for sure.
people through the process.
Yes,
Tell them the pros and the cons.
exactly.
Okay. Is there anything that I'm leaving out and not asking you that you'd like to touch on?
When you do international business, make sure you put your family first, because traveling could get it to you. So I have two beautiful little girls and a wife, so that's always a priority. So make sure you do that first, because if you do it the other way around, you could lose it all.
Okay.
So that's my advice.
That's probably the best advice of the whole segment, I would say. So thank you, Rayan. Thank you for joining with us and being our special guest.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to have some of those in our audience asking questions. If you have some questions, please be sure and ask them online. If you have some interest in broadening your entrepreneurial business, your franchise, we have people in place, including Dwayne and others, specifically that work with Rayan, that can help you, walk you through, give you the ideas of what can be. You not only work with in Saudi Arabia, but we didn't even talk about some of the other countries you're working in.
I'm in the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and South Africa, in particular Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay. So when we're talking international, we're talking a wide range of different areas.
Yes.
So I want you to know that, and it's really interesting to talk to Rayan. He's informative, and if you have questions, he'll be able to answer them for you. So get a hold of Dwayne Jordan, and he'll get you in touch with Rayan, and together their team of experts, will work with you and share with you how you can grow your business international. On behalf of this segment of Executive Summit, I'm Randy Shepard saying thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.